Hey YouTube, this is Catching Up with Crystal. Can you keep up with me? Because you never know where I'm going to be. And today I am coming to you from the Turnpike. I just wanted to pop in and make this video really fast. Lately, I've been having a conversation with multiple people. And the topic is loneliness. Loneliness is a real thing. It affects people of all ages. However, we are getting into the holidays, and this is the season of depression, loneliness, isolation, feelings of hopelessness, and reflections on life. When I was younger, I had lots of friends. Or let me say, I knew a lot of people, because as I've matured, I've come to not label everybody as a friend. So let me just say that I knew a lot of people. And some of those people were very close to me, and I had a very close network of friends. And I'm not even that old. But one by one, my close network of friends have begun to die. And this is going to happen. If it hasn't already happened to you, it's going to happen to you. As we get older, we lose those people who were our confidants, who we could depend on to lend us an ear, lend us $5, or even lend us their time to go out, maybe have some lunch, go on a trip, go to the club, whatever your thing was. But we start to lose these people. And you find yourself reflecting on several things. One thing you might find yourself reflecting on is death. And could you be next? Nobody's promised tomorrow, and any of us could be next. Nobody wakes up. Well, most people don't wake up and say, today is the day I'm gonna die. Most of us, especially when we're young, think that we have years and years ahead of us. But as we get older and we lose people, and our circle gets smaller and smaller, isolation, depression, and loneliness can creep in. And we find ourselves, if you're single with no children, or you have an estranged relationship with your children, or your family members have begun to die, or maybe you're adopted and you never had any family members other than your parents, or you had some issues in your life where the family kind of isolated you. They didn't want you to be a part of the tribe anymore, and maybe you were kicked out. However, you begun to feel isolation and loneliness. It doesn't matter how you get there. It's that you're there. And some people may start to reflect as they age. Who's going to be there for me? Who's going to take care of me? What happens if I get sick? What happens if I get hurt? What happens if I need surgery? What happens if I need somebody and I don't have anybody? That's not even a guarantee. Even if you have somebody, you can have children, you can have family. It doesn't mean they're going to be there for you. People are selfish sometimes. They're about their needs. And you may be that kind of person who, when somebody needs you, you're there. But when you need people, they're not there. And that could be very frustrating as well. can you do when you're lonely and maybe you don't have a lot of friends or family, or you just, some people just don't want to be bothered with their family, and maybe their family's not a good influence, and there might be some trauma there, and you just want a fresh start, but you don't have a support system. What can you do to try to combat some of this loneliness? My suggestions are to surround yourself with people. And this is what I mean. Your tribe or your family is not always the people you are related to. Your family can be the people who are closest to you, who care about you, who are loyal, who you found to be there for you in your need. Now, what if you don't have even that? Surround yourself with people, even if it's at work. Be a little extra friendly, so that if something happens and you need somebody, and you've been friendly and you've been a good co-worker, and you need help, somebody might not mind helping you. Hey, I'm gonna have a surgery. I need somebody to pick me up. Do you think you'd be able to do that? You'd be surprised how some people love to be able to help. Some people can see through you and see that, you're in need. The other thing you can do is volunteer. There are so many organizations out here. If you volunteer, one of the best ways to feel better about yourself is by helping somebody else. Volunteer. Volunteer to feed the homeless. Volunteer to go to a nursing home and read to an older person, or to participate in activities with an older person. Volunteer to go to a hospital and rock a baby. There are crack babies and babies that are born addicted, and there are programs where you can go and rock that baby, because that baby has what's called failure to thrive, which can come from just not being held, just not being rocked, just not having any human touch. Start a support group. That's another option. Start a support group for people who feel lonely. I'm telling you, there's a lot of lonely people out here. If you started a support group for lonely people, nobody in that support group would be lonely if you all opened up, introduced yourselves to each other, and maybe decided, let's go bowling, or let's go get a cup of coffee, or something that requires engagement. Another option is to go to the park and go for walks on a regular basis. When I used to walk on a regular basis, I would see the same people at the same time of day, the regulars, and you get to know each other, and you get to wave, or you stop, as you pass each other for a couple of chats, and I think you're getting my point. Try to find activities that surround you with other people. Loneliness can lead to depression, anxiety, a shorter lifespan. All of these things just from being alone. If you're the kind of person who it's difficult for you to speak to people or engage in people, people, or you just don't like people. You gotta make small changes to get big results. You'll have to find a way to force yourself. Just say, I'm gonna set a goal. This week I'm gonna speak to one new person. Just say hello. Loneliness is a real thing. As we age, who's gonna be there for us if we don't have anybody? We have to prepare ourselves. That might mean taking care of your physical health now while you're young, so that when you're older, you'll be mobile and be able to do and won't need as much additional support from anybody else. You can adopt a family. Adopt some, and I don't mean in the traditional sense of adoption, but a neighbor that, hey neighbor, invite them over for coffee, or I don't mind watching your dog. Extend yourself. That's what I'm trying to say, in a way so that you are engaging with others. Okay, this has been Catching Up with Crystal. You have caught up with me. I hope some of these tips have been helpful. Loneliness is a real thing. As we get older, some of us aren't going to have family, to support us. Nobody to take care of us. Some of us might end up in a nursing home. That's the reality. But try to prepare yourself now for the future, if that's what you anticipate. This has been Catching Up with Crystal.